5 seconds to go. Start. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I think the House will permit me to begin my speech with a certain personal note. The Prime Minister, in his budget speech, referred to the year 39 years ago when, in a more difficult situation, Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru presented the budget. The House will remember that at that time it was an unprecedented shake-up in the Finance Ministry, in which the Finance Minister, the Principal Finance Secretary, the Chairman of the LIC, and other senior ministers and secretaries had to leave just a few weeks before the budget. At that time, it was sheer miracle that I escaped. I consider it a miracle. I was the only person to assist the Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru in presenting the budget and in conducting both the houses. It is a matter of great honor and privilege which I recollect after 29 years that Prime Minister Nehru commanded the work that I humbly did to assist him in those difficult times. Today, the Prime Minister's budget speech clearly and sincerely puts the economic development of this country on the path chartered by Jawaharlal Nehru. It is borne not only by the three quotations of Nehru in his speech, but also by the form and content of his analysis of the economic scene and the measures proposed by him. It also reflects Prime Minister's distinct personality. He has not given to political or populist approach. He acknowledges the seriousness of the challenges on the economic front and reveals an attempt to respond to them with utmost seriousness. His speech distinguishes itself by his honesty of purpose and seriousness of the proposals that he has made. His budget speech also clears several myths. He has demolished several myths. The commitment to wage a battle for eradication of poverty has been reimposed, whatever the honorable members on the other side may say. This is a rededication with all vigor and force of his commitment for the eradication of poverty. This is also based on productive employment of the people, creating so many man hours and man days. It is on the basis of productive employment and not on the distribution of charity syndrome. All these proposals are linked to productivity, employment, and growth because there is an inescapable link between growth, employment, and productivity. Therefore, the battle for eradication of poverty has been placed in the overall framework of accelerating growth, because the basis of the Congress ethos and its economic and social policy has been independent national economy. A country like India, if it has to follow an independent policy of non alignment, it cannot follow that policy unless it builds up a national economy. It should be an independent national economy based on social justice, commitment to socialism, democracy, and secularism, which Jawaharlal Nehru put forward and behind which in Parliament and in the country there was a national consensus. Our consensus Prime Minister, when he talks of the unity and independence of the country, threats from outside, and the economic imperialism that is threatening the development of independent economy, the emphasis you will find is on public sector, building up the rural sector growth and social distribution, and on that basis building an economy based on self-reliance and not dependent on foreign capital assistance. The fact is that India is a shining example in the present day world when you have an adverse international economic environment, when economic assistance is going down, the multilateral assistance is cut down, the IDA aid is cut down, and policies are framed all round so that our export trade development and our export promotion is faced with greater difficulty. Even then, because of the economic policies laid down by Jawaharlal Nehru and successively followed by Indiraji and reinforced through this budget by the present Prime Minister, it shows that this is the only way and this is the only model in which India should develop if it wants to maintain its dignity and emerge as a prosperous and strong country. So, this myth is demolished that this budget is anti poor or anti growth, or this budget is anti social justice. Actually, it aims to achieve all these objectives. He has also demolished the myth that this government or the government's economic policy is not for the poor but is more concerned about the upper middle class. This is all demolished, and I think it is necessary that in this House there is consensus behind the new path, or rather the new enforced path that is sought to be made out by this budget. Similarly, the budget aims at promising growth, and if you see, you will find that a number of concessions have been given to industries engaged in mass consumption goods, not caring to the needs of the affluent. A number of measures have been suggested. I need not go into that. It particularly tries to promote indigenous capital goods industry, which is the basis of self-reliance and which is the basis of promoting growth in the future development of our country. Stop.